Welcome, here are some tips for backpacking to Havasu Falls. We did some things that helped us to prepare. We have some mistakes to avoid and some products that were really helpful. First tip for a beginner backpacker is to just do a one-nighter beforehand with the gear and the weight that you plan to bring to Havasu. This helps you see what you really need, how well you're going to sleep with your pad and your sleeping bag, and even your tent or hammock if you choose to do it that way. If you're planning on eating an MRE, this is a great time to actually try one and see what that is like. And most importantly, to see how it feels to be carrying how much weight you've decided. It doesn't even need to be 10 miles, just enough to get uncomfortable. Second thing is just hiking in general. Doing this beforehand is going to help you practice wearing the shoes you're going to bring and seeing if there's going to be any issues that come up. Because we did this, got a blister, that helped us to prepare to avoid that situation. We had moleskin and tape and did not get blisters on the trip because of that preparation. We also changed socks on the way down and amazingly didn't get any blisters again. We both even had new hiking shoes, which isn't ideal. It's better if they are broken in, but I decided that I needed more traction. My shoes were really old, and I'm glad I had that traction on that descent. Physically preparing by doing more hikes. I only did about 3 miles hike a week. The reason we were able to finish and carry our own packs, which were about 37 pounds for me, way too much, and about 42 pounds for him, was because we both strength train really heavy weights regularly. I'm sure this helped a lot. Honestly, I wasn't doing much cardio, just about 10,000 steps a day. So could have done more preparation, but the strength training and honestly any working out helps. So the first mistake we made was checking in late at the Grand Canyon Caverns. They're not open all day, and so you have to check in there before you get to the trailhead. I think it closes at 5, but just check for yourself. This made it so that we couldn't check in until 8 a.m. the day we were supposed to hike, and then we didn't start at the trailhead until 11. This allowed us to see the hikers that were finishing their hikes, and that was very cool. But that was an okay mistake to make in April. It would not have been a good mistake to make in the middle of the summer. We filled our water bottles from the spout at the campground directly from the source, not downstream from other campers. You don't know what they're doing in the water, and usually there's going to be somebody that's washing their dishes in the creek and not keeping it pure. It was nice to have a larger water reservoir at camp, but it wasn't necessary. So the next thing to be aware of is getting information from the Facebook page. There is a lot of noise on there. There's a lot of opinions. Just make sure you're getting facts. A better alternative is to get your facts straight from the tribe and email them. I highly recommend getting these 2 books and the Havasu travel guide pocket size. For food storage, I found these Mylar bags that are resealable, and they worked really great. We labeled what was in the bag on the outside, which was helpful. It was $24 and it came with a ton of bags, 75 pieces. The other thing that worked really great for food storage and was just a great find was the clear dry bag. I used it as a day pack during the day on the hiking trips, and at night we put the food storage bags, used those for garbage when they were empty, put those inside the dry bag, and hung it up at night. We didn't have any issues. I was still able to get 80 grams of protein a day with tuna packs, protein bars, Kind bars, and a shake. So another thing we did to prepare was weighing everything, making sure our packs weren't too heavy, and carefully considering everything that we were bringing. This was really helpful. But because we weighed things separately, when we put it all together the night before, our packs were about 5 pounds heavier. So my pack ended up being 36 pounds on the way down, and I thought I was going to lose 5 pounds of food weight. However, I ended up picking up things people left at camp and carrying it back, and so it was 37 pounds. It's such an amazing trip. It's so amazing looking at the waterfalls and enjoying all the stars at night. So the garbage was inside of a Mylar food bag, zipped up, and at night we hung that up in the clear dry bag. That way I could use the clear dry bag during the day, so it doubled use.